Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. Now it's real time, sponsored by the Mill Casino.
Welcome back, everyone. Now cross your fingers and toes for good technology this morning. We've got Shane Magnuson from the Upper Columbia Guide Service, and he is out chasing some spring Chinook this morning. And Shane, you've already had a pretty busy morning. Now we're staring at the toilet bowl behind you. How'd it go this morning?
Yeah, we started at the Wind this morning and had 4 customers, and it was a pretty good bite, as you suspect, with that 7,700 fish over Bonneville. So now we're here at the toilet bowl to see if we can't have a little fun ourselves.
Very nice. Now, what does a guide do when he is, done with clients? He goes fishing. I love it, man. Why'd you head over to Drano and not stay at Wind, if it's all right to ask?
What's that?
Why did you make a move to Drano if you had your success in Wind already?
Well, because we both caught our fish at the Wind also, so we caught 6 there this morning. And so Drano's a 2-fish limit, so we could bump over here and get one for ourselves.
Very good. Good point. All right, very good. It looks like there's quite a bit of a crowd back there. They're not chasing Kokanee, though. They're chasing spring Chinook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, Shane, it's starting to break up a little bit on us, so I want to jump right to it. We got the buy 3, get 1 free deal from Fisherman's Marine and Yakima Bait real quickly, and I'd love to get back to a report from you. We're going to talk about 3 of their favorite products from Yakima Bait: the Fast Limit Dodger, the Tight Line Kokanee rig, and then the Spin and Glow Kokanee rig. If you had to pick between the 2 different baits, either the Tight Line or the Spin and Glow rig, do you have a preference?
I find when I run those rigs, if I'm going to troll a little bit faster, I really like that Tight Lines Kokanee rig with the actual blade. But if I'm trolling it really, really slow, then I'll bump over to the Spin and Glow rig, which has no drag, and that's going to have the action behind that Dodger. So it's a lot based on your troll speed and where you're fishing. Our favorite fisheries in Washington are Lake Chelan, Lake Roosevelt. Roosevelt, we troll faster, and Chelan, we troll slower. So that kind of defines on what rig you're going to use.
When you're looking at it that way, Shane, as far as what your speed is with your Dodger and the difference between those 2 baits, is there a leader length or something that you might be able to help out with our viewers? Might be a better length than another?
Definitely. I really like real short leaders. I tend to go from about 8.5 inches up to about 12 or 13 inches. And when you get to that short of a leader, every half an inch on that leader actually really makes a difference on how that bait is working behind the Dodger.
Now, with these Fast Limit Dodgers, these have been around for a very long time. They come in a number of different colors. Is there any color patterns that you might like more than another, depending on where you might go when you're talking about these Fast Limit Dodgers?
I got a couple here that I threw on. I really like one that has a lot of paint on it and UV, first things in the mornings when it's really dark. And then when it starts to get bright outside, I'll switch to stuff that has like scale tape. It's really going to catch the flash of that sun. So again, the color kind of determines on time of day and really if it's real sunny.
Gotcha. Okay, great advice as always, Shane. Now, if I don't spend a couple of minutes talking about how the spring Chinook fishing has been for you up to this point, I would not be doing my job correctly. So I take it you've been spending your time in the Wind River area and of course, Drano, based on what conditions are. But how has it been for you since those numbers have started to bounce over Bonneville? How has this season been for 2025? Would you rate it for this year?
The last 2 weeks, probably some of the better springer fishing I've seen in a few years. It's the bite is good. Seem to have a lot of fish showing up to these 2 fisheries. I would definitely rate it better than the last couple of years as far as numbers and catch go. It's been really good.
Just make it work. That's all you do. Yeah, but the more you move it, get to the lines.
They're frozen.
Well, Shane, would you say, is that because of the conditions as far as the fish being more apt to bite, or is there just more fish around?
I really feel like there's more fish around. If we go back and look at pit tags for these two fishery are ahead of last year. And I think we're getting more fish than expected by the feel of it. I don't know that that's actually going to happen, but it feels like that's going to happen.
And as far as how you're targeting them, I know that you have a fantastic 360 game, one of the best out there, unquestionably. But what have you been fishing behind your 360 flashers? Has it been shrimp or the cut plug, both? What have you kind of been gravitating towards?
I'm going to grab one here. So I've been fishing mostly shrimp spinners up here. Of course, we're getting a few fish off cut plug, but just your basic Hildebrand blades, the 3.5 Hildebrand with the shrimp behind it and some beads. That's been very effective. But one of the things I want to point out is you get into Drano here where you're trolling really slow, and the blade has a little bit of drag. We switched to stuff like spinning glows that have no drag. So then we troll a shrimp on those, and those will still thump really good behind that flasher at a slow speed. So again, kind of base your speed, more Hildebrand blades at the Wind River, more spinning glows at Drano, just on the troll speed.
Oh, that's a good point. Because I mean, folks, listen, let's be honest here. The vast majority of you out there are not going to go spend your time in Drano in the toilet bowl for a number of reasons. But it's like he mentioned, it's a very different fishery than, say, the Wind or the Willamette or the Columbia and Main Stem, because you're so confined. You have to go very, very slow. Do you make any adjustments to your flashers to get them to spin a little bit easier, or not, maybe not easier, but spin faster at those slower speeds when you're there in the toilet bowl?
What I find a lot with the flashers is the more hardware you can get off them to make them operate on their own is great. You can see this is a Pro Troll flasher I got here, and I changed the big snap down to a smaller snap on the back. It's a little lighter weight. I have just a basic snap on the front, and anything you can eliminate any weight off of there, go to a little bit smaller shrimp so it's less to turn over, and at the slower speeds that flasher will operate properly.
Shane, you're an Iron Man, dude. You've been fishing Drano. That's a grind of a fishery. Even if you're being successful, that place can beat you up pretty good. And then to go right over and jump right into the middle of Drano, yeah, you're motivated to make it happen. We appreciate you spending a few minutes sharing some of your insight and talking quickly about the buy three, get one free deal over there at Fisherman's Marina. Remember, everyone, that's at all three of their locations. Take advantage of that, because this is going into Kokanee season, if it's not already for most of you out there. And it's shaping up to be a good year for Kokanee as well, from the reports that we're getting. But Shane, as always, thanks for spending some time, man. We appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me on, and hope to see everybody out here. Fishing's good.
Good luck, man. Be safe out there, okay, Shane? All right, we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to have a quick tech tip, and it's kind of a perfect segue. We're going to talk specifically about 360s and shrimp spinners and different ways to set them up. We'll have that in just a minute.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Chevy Silverado and the impressive Turbo Max engine. Flex your muscle with the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Official truck of Outdoor GPS.